User acquisition, or UA for short, is arguably the single most important marketing method for marketing your mobile games right now. It's a discipline that is crucial to transforming a game into a long-term successful business. And the top grossing games on the market right now can spend up to tens of millions of dollars per month investing in UA activities. Unlike other mainstream marketing methods, such as obtaining App Store features, where success depends on the whims of a third-party app store, or viral marketing, where the trending topics on social media networks can change on a daily basis, making it hard for you to relate your game to the latest trending topic on a long-term and consistent basis. For those that can master the discipline of mobile games user acquisition, it holds the promise to be a measurable and repeatable way to scale the marketing success of your mobile game over many, many years, allowing you to create a thriving business franchise with your game. The understanding of user acquisition begins with the understanding of the concept of return on ad spend, or ROAS for short. ROAS is typically measured as a percentage, with 100% ROAS indicating a break-even on user acquisition activities. There are three key metrics that can impact and change the behavior of your return on ad spend. The first one is CPI, or cost per install. This measures the amount of money it costs you to acquire a single player in your UA campaigns. The second is LTV, or lifetime value. This measures the amount of revenue generated by each user acquired in your user acquisition campaign. The third is called the K factor. K factor measures the incremental viral impact that your user acquisition campaign has in addition to the LTV that it generates. While these three metrics are the core constituents that impact your ROAS, each of them in isolation can change on a rapid basis, impacted by tens of other different variables. This makes each of these three metrics extremely hard to accurately measure on a timely basis and even more difficult to predict. The most successful UA teams in the mobile gaming industry have dedicated teams of UA specialists and data scientists whose entire job is to measure and predict the changes in these three key metrics in real time. In order to demonstrate to you the significant impact of UA strategy on the long-term success of a game, I'm going to tell you the story of two games. Both of these games are real games that share a lot of similarity. Each of these games have individually amassed hundreds of millions of downloads and also earned tens of millions of dollars in lifetime revenue. They were both updated regularly and also featured regularly by the major app stores. The biggest difference, however, between these two games is in their UA strategy. To enable easy comparison and also to protect data confidentiality, we've codenamed these two games Phoenix and Blackhawk and have scaled their download and revenue data to be on a comparable similar scale. During the 5-year comparison period, the marketing team for Phoenix started experimenting with UA strategies from the second year, acquiring a total of 6% of all users via UA. From years 3 to 5, the marketing team optimized the marketing strategy and increased total UA acquired users upwards of 15 to 20%. The Blackhawk marketing team, in comparison, focused solely on viral and influencer marketing activities with almost zero UA during the 5-year period. The results after a 5-year period for both games is quite telling. The Phoenix team, with a comprehensive UA strategy to complement their viral and influencer marketing, at the end of the 5 years was able to drive sustained downloads of more than 250% over what the Blackhawk team was able to achieve. But even more significantly is the huge difference in revenue performance for these two games over the same 5-year comparative period. As the Phoenix team optimized their UA strategies over the years, they were not only sustaining the download momentum, but they were optimizing their targeting for higher quality users. And by the end of the 5-year period, the Phoenix team had optimized their targeting to drive such high quality users into the game that even with flat or declining download rates year on year, they were actually driving incremental revenue increases year on year, almost doubling the LTV from their acquired user base. Blackhawk, by comparison, had relatively little control over the targeting and quality of users. And by the end of the 5 years, their revenue performance had deteriorated by nearly 85% from the first year peak. Hopefully, these two real-life examples helps to highlight the importance of a cohesive and sustained UA strategy and the outsized impact that this has on whether your game goes from strength to strength year on year, or whether your game gets put out to pasture after living a fruitful but shortened lifetime. In conclusion, user acquisition is one of the most important marketing methods for building your game into a long-term successful business franchise. The key measurement for effective user acquisition is return on ad spend, which in turn is impacted by CPI, LTV, and K factors, key metrics that can change constantly on a real-time basis. The real-life examples of Blackhawk and Phoenix show the real-life impact that an effective UA strategy can have on the long-term viability and success of a game. And though the methods, tools, and systems required to accurately measure and predict a constantly changing return on ad spend are outside the scope of this masterclass, it is certainly worthy of its own dedicated specialist class on UA. So if you're interested in learning how to master the discipline of user acquisition for mobile games, subscribe to our newsletter and stay tuned for updates about our upcoming specialist class on mobile games user acquisition.